Hi, I'm Mike, an approved BT Redcare installer, and I've been invited to take you through just how easy it is to install Essential Extra. So what do you get? An insert which gives you an overview of the configuration menu and signal strength display, and 2 window stickers for your customer's property to let everyone know it's protected by Redcare. And then there's the hardware, 2 aerials, some sticky mounting pads, and of course the alarm signalling unit. Essential Extra is a wireless dual-path signalling system with 2 4G SIMs for twice the fire and security protection. It reliably connects to the Redcare platform and delivers your alarms to the ARC. Let's take a closer look at the unit. It has minus and plus power input terminals, which are located between the terminals marked 1 to 8 and 9 to 16 for the alarm pin inputs. Minus is the 0 volt connection and plus is the positive 12 or 24 volt connection. The programming or menu navigation buttons are here. And serial connections TXB and RXA are here. You'll find the outputs labelled comms, funk and fire here, and dial capture here. The 2 aerials attach here and here. Essential Extra is simple to set up. Before you get cracking, check you've got a really good signal. It's a good idea to do a pre-installation survey. Once you're happy, connect the aerials into the unit. You'll hear a little click when they're attached properly. The aerials are designed to stick into place, so remove the backing to fix them in position. Here's a tip: you can position them slightly differently to make sure you get the best connectivity available. To wire the alarm pins, use terminals marked 1 to 8 and 9 to 16. Pin 4 is used for opening and closing. You can set up output 2, labelled funk, to work as a return path signalling output, which will operate in conjunction with pin 4. Pin 11 works in BSIA form 175 mode. When a positive voltage is put through the input, it generates a test alarm over both paths. You can set it to become a normal alarm by reconfiguring the comms fail output to one of the other options using the configuration menu. Pin 13 is for mains fail. It has a 7-minute delay on alarms and restores. You can change the delay time using the installer app, or even set it to become a normal alarm pin by setting the delay time to 0. Next, wire output 1, the comms fault output from the relay terminals. As it's a relay contact, mark normally open NO, common C, and normally closed NC, you can connect it up by following the alarm panel instructions. By default, the comms output is set up in BSIA form 175 mode. It'll automatically kick in when either path fails. You can program it to switch when both paths fail, or if there's a mobile 1 path fault. Output 2, labelled funk, can be set up in a number of ways. It can be operated remotely with the customer app, or it can become the return path signal relay. This works in conjunction with pin 4. That way, you'll know when the ARC has received the open or close. You can also set it up as a mobile 2 path fault, with the comms output relay working as the mobile 1 path fault, or as a fire NAC, not acknowledged output. It also has a key switch option, which you can set up as momentary or latched. By default, it's set up as a dual path fault output. Output 3, labelled fire, can be set up to be operated remotely, or as a key switch by the customer using the app, but by default it's set as a fire AC, acknowledged output. You can make all these programming changes when the unit is powered up through the configuration menu or using the installer app. Now, pre-wire power to the unit. The power input terminals are the 2 central screws labelled minus and plus. And fix the unit in the panel with the sticky pads that came with it. You can connect 12 volts for an intruder panel and 24 volts for a fire panel. Power the unit. It takes about 5 seconds for the OLED display to come on. If you don't do anything else, the display will switch off after about 5 minutes. When it's off, press and let go of any of the programming buttons to switch it on. The unit will try to connect to the Redcare platform using both mobile paths as soon as it powers up. If there's a good signal, it can take a couple of minutes for the device to connect to the platform. If the signal isn't great, it may take a bit longer while the smart roaming kicks in on mobile too. So make sure you let the ARC know and put the unit on test. If you don't touch any of the other programming options, you'll get a status update on the display. When it's connected, it'll read Path Mobile 1 registered and Path Mobile 2 registered. At the same time, it'll send a series of alarm events to the ARC. Some pin alarms, restores to let them know the unit is back up, and a system reset alarm to let them know the unit has been rebooted. The display will also scroll through and show the signal strength by type for Mobile 1, like 4G. It's a bit like the signal strength bars on your mobile. 2 or more is good. It also shows the strength in decibels and the name of the mobile operator. The display will also show the same for Mobile 2. If there are any alarm pins outstanding, it'll show them too. Now you're ready to start programming if you need to. Before you learn the alarm pins, wire them in using the terminals marked 1 to 8 and 9 to 16. They need to be in the non-alarm state. For the open-close pin 4, that means the system needs to be seen as closed, and there must be no active panel tampers if wired in. Start by pressing the Pin Learn button, the down button, for about 5 seconds. You'll see Notice Done on the display, which tells you the pin learn is complete. Then the display will scroll through the status of mobile paths, signal strength and network operator. Service grade will display as Redcare DP2. There should be no alarm showing. If any pin is in alarm, it'll show up on the display. You can check the alarms are showing properly by triggering some alarm outputs and checking that the numbers appear on the display. For example, you'll see a number 4 when the system is open. You can invert any of the pins in the programming menu or by using the installer app. You can do extra programming using these 3 navigation buttons: Enter, Up and Down. To get to the configuration menu, just press and hold Enter. When the display shows configuration, press it again and you'll see the first menu option. From here, you can navigate your way around the menu to get to the option you're looking for. There are 6 main menu options: Inputs, Outputs, Network, Serial Panel Type, Diagnostics and Restore Defaults. Use these navigation buttons to get to the menu you want. Then press Enter to get to the categories within this menu. Press Enter again. You'll see an asterisk on the display, which means you've entered edit mode. Just use the navigation buttons to get to the setting you're looking for. So, for example, to set up the Funk output as a key switch output, allowing your customers to set and unset the alarm within the app, press and hold Enter to get to the configuration menu. Then press Enter to get to Inputs. Now press the Down button to select output type. Use the Enter button and the Down button to get to Output Type 2 Dual Path Fault and press the Enter button again. When you see the asterisk, it means you're in edit mode. Use the Down button to get to the Output Type 2 key switch. Press and hold Enter until the display says Notice Saved. When the screen displays Output Type 2 key switch, press down until it says Key Switch Mode Momentary. If momentary is correct, you can exit programming mode. If you need a latched key switch, press the Enter button. When you see the asterisk, you're in edit mode. Use the Down button to change to latched. Then press and hold Enter to save the change. Notice Saved is displayed. To get to the main configuration menu, so you can get to other menus, press the down button. Back is displayed. Then press Enter. This will take you to Output Type, where you can use the up and down buttons to navigate through other programming options. You can leave edit mode without saving changes by holding the down button for 5 seconds. This will take you back to the item in the menu you were editing. To leave programming completely without saving changes, press the up button for 5 seconds. Essential Extra can also detect cuts and shorts. This will monitor the wiring between the alarm panel and the pin input, which is particularly important when the unit is fitted away from a fire panel. You can use the Input Configuration menu to add this function to any pin. End of line or EOL will detect a cut, and dual end of line or DEOL will detect a cut and a short. It's simple to get started. Press and hold Enter until you get to the configuration menu. Then press Enter again to get to Inputs. Now press Enter to select Pin Learn. Once that's done, press the down button until you get to Inputs EOL. Then press Enter and EOL 1. None will appear on the display. Now press Enter again. You'll see an asterisk on the display when you're in edit mode. Press the down button twice for EOL 1, DEOL. Finally, press and hold Enter until Notice Saved appears. Here's how to wire it. This shows the resistor values needed, which you can get from Redcare's online installer shop. There's a dial capture feature built into the unit. To use it, connect the alarm panel digi to the connectors marked dial cap here. Dial capture acts as a phone line and accepts the digi dialing out. You don't need to do any programming on the actual unit. But you'll need to program the panel with the dummy ARC phone number and select the signaling protocol. If there are any issues, you can easily spot them by connecting a test phone or listening device to the dial capture inputs. The unit also has RS485 and RS232 capabilities. There are ground, transmit and receive connectors here at the top right of the unit. They double up as RS485B and A depending on the panel selected in the programming menu. To set this up, go to the configuration menu and pick the panel serial type to change the terminals to either RS485 or RS232. Here's an example of how to program the device so it can connect to a Galaxy Dimension panel using RS485. When you've finished programming, exit from the menu by pressing the up button for 5 seconds. If a panel with RS485 is picked, then TX becomes RS485B and RX becomes RS485A. You can check to make sure it's all working and connected OK, as a panel up alarm will be sent to the ARC. Take a look at the installation guide on the Redcare website to see what compatibility looks like for other panels. Here's a tip. Make sure you used screen cable for serial and dial capture connections. Oh, and one more thing. When you've finished setting up your unit, don't forget to test all your alarms through to your ARC. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching.